Because no one expects judgment! Hello everyone, Gomez here for the LAN Up channel with another deck for you today. Let's face it, the second the patch notes went forward, everyone was like, I've got to make a dragon deck, and that was exactly what my thoughts were as well, because the buff switch happened to dragons, in particular, Dragon's Clutch, allowing you to give Overwhelm, which means that dragons had a finisher now, because a lot of dragon decks in the past, their main thing has been they can build up big units, but they've got no massive finisher, but giving all dragons Overwhelm is devastating, plus we got the buff into Aurelion Soul as well, so that's the reason why I built this deck that you see before you. There are definitely changes that can be made. I'm not saying this is the best dragon deck at all. I'd never say that. And also, there's definitely a lot of people who are going to be throwing dragon decks around, so I would suggest checking them out. A traditional dragon deck normally runs a 3 Shyvanas, 1 Zoe, 2 Aurelion Souls, but I've gone fully all in on 3 Aurelion Souls, which people could disagree with, because obviously Zoe is a good little turn 1, do some damage, disruptor, give you some of those early game Celestials. But my main reason was that I wanted to make sure I was going to be able to play my Aurelion Soul. Aloof Traveler is a card in the game, and so there's that slight chance that they might try to get rid of them, which is why you kind of don't want to keep Aurelion Soul to begin with, especially if you're against Bandle City. So you kind of want to throw that back, and you don't want to be throwing down your Dragon's Clutches for draw unless you know that you can get past it, play Aurelion Soul. If your opponent's past the mana where they'll be able to play a Aloof Traveler, maybe consider it. But the main goal of this is Overwhelm, to be able to put Overwhelm on top of your dragons. There's a few little give you health kind of things, and there's definitely some cards that you would potentially change in this deck, like Molten Core, changing that for another Concerted Strike. I really just want to play Molten Core because it's an underused card which nobody ever expects, and in a dragon deck, being able to take off 2 of my opponent's backfielders, buff up my dragons, and be able to then go forward, especially if I've got Overwhelm, just felt like a really good card to just have as a one-off. Same as Judgment. I mean, Judgment with dragons is legendarily funny, so that's the reason why this deck is the way there is. So I'm not saying this is the best deck, but it definitely is a very nice deck, and worked really well for me. I mean, admittedly, I'm only playing in silver at this moment in time, because I need to get my rank back up again. I kind of let my rank tank, so games you're going to be seeing were actually rank play, but thank you so much for taking the time to watch even this bit of it. So bear in mind, there is a shameless plug time: Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to catch me live on Twitch, because all these games were streamed live, so you want to catch the action live yourself, please feel free on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. There's also the Discord link down below if you want to get in there, the lovely community that we're building. And if you get on the Twitter, there is still currently the giveaway going on for one of those Thrash Lanterns and such for the spooky month that is Halloweeny month. And yeah, I just hope you have a good time. I hope you enjoy what you see, and if you do want to consider hitting that subscribe button, let's get in and see how this deck did in a couple of matches. I think also, do I want to keep, I feel like that's more my finisher. It is draw, but it's kind of my finisher. Of course I get my Aurelion Soul immediately, exactly who I wanted. Okay. I'm just actually quite surprised that Kench Soraka is being played at this moment in time. I'm thinking to myself, dragons, they've got strikes, so I hope I'd be able to strike down them, even if their Kench gets to a point. But admittedly, they do also run what's his face as well, don't they? They do legitimately run Astral Protection, so I might have problems when it comes to that. I could have taken that trade if I really wanted to. Okay. The stats going up on this is actually very nice. That additional attack is just... It makes it so you don't feel bad defending with it sometimes. Okay. No reinforcement. I'll go forward with him, because even a Pal Cascade won't be able to get them to that point. It would be an immediate trade. 4! Hello there! First time chat! A true Aurelion welcome. Thank you so much for how you doing. Hope that all is well with you. What is your thoughts of the new patches and whatnot that happened in Legends of Runeterra? I'd love to hear. Oh my god, this... I'm gonna... Well, no, of course they run that. They run that to get the Fever Jiggy. Why do I feel no Star Spring? I don't know what my mind thought. Oh my god, Targon's Peak. Of course Targon's Peak's not running that deck. I'm so used to seeing that with a Targon's Peak deck that my mind completely forgot the legitimate they used it for Star Spring. It's because I haven't seen Star Spring in so long. My mind doesn't remember these things anymore. Right. Potentially Kench could drop. I'm almost willing to use... use this. Force them to have to, like, if they're going to heal this or whatnot, just to do it. Yes, like, actual astral protection, but not being used on either of their champions, which is interesting. Obviously, like, it's helping Starspring still. Okay. Is it worth my time?
You're all so cute.
Potential heal onto this. I might end up regretting doing this, but I'm gonna go for it. I have got issues that will be coming my way. Like, I know that I've got no landmark removal in this deck. Other than if I find them through, like, celestially find landmark removal is my only form of landmark removal. Okay. I wish I had a strike spell right now. The lack of strike spell. I'm still good to scrap. But yeah, the lack of strike spell, not gonna lie, it is slightly scary. I've got to immediately go forward. I have to immediately go forward. Okay, now do I want to grab Pablo's been down but he's nay out, or do I, like, so I'm gonna grab Pablo's been down but he's nay out. And potentially grab Kench. Although I feel another Astral Protection is coming. Definitely another Astral Protection would be coming. I've got no strike spell. That's the reason why I feel a little bit, like, vulnerable right now. So I go like this. I just feel a little bit vulnerable because I've got no strike spell. It legitimately makes me so scared. It's like I need some way of dealing with the man. Now, admittedly, like, we're starting to look at this for the overwhelm. Start, like, they can still eat, so they can eat somebody down this end. So I assume Dragon Guard gets eaten. It's what I would do if this was the other way around. I could have even gone with the Scout unit, actually. Would have been the worst decision. I'm going to try and get Aurelion Soul out. It's fine. How close are they on this? Like, it can escalate very quickly, but it's like, I'm not scared yet, but I probably should be. But I can tell myself I can get Aurelion Soul out. They can still, so they can eat the Eggman. If they wanted to eat the Eggman, they could do. There could be an Astral Protection. So, Astral Protection, try to eat one of the dragons. Could be a thing. Yeah, Astral Protection, which is a big heal. Try to eat one of the dragons, then get a full heal. It's times like this I really wish I had a strike spell. Just one little strike spell would be lovely. So that's actually gonna be doing so much for their. That's gonna be doing so much for their healing landmark. I've got to take Supernova. I've got to take Super. I mean, but there's certain moves which are coming up, but Supernova to kill landmark. That is, I need this. I need this in my life more for the killing landmark. Yeah, sure, I can obliterate Tom Kench, but that's not what's important to me. What's important to me is getting rid of this. Okay. That's a big ballsy move you got there. It's so that they can go forward and what's-his-face can't actually defend me. That's the reason why. Give yourself that additional health stat. New patch, I laughed at Nami screaming, which at the I mean, Sparkle Fly was like one of the biggest nerfs that we've seen. Like, it needed to be 2 mana for the being able to get out with the other card. That it's like it can still be put in that deck, but it's not going to be as powerful and as reliant of draw, because obviously you had like the 2 different ways of drawing it, or either play it normally or Fubushi. Now,
by starlight.
okay, you tell myself.
Take heart.
17. Okay. I'm gonna tell myself that it's gonna be a-okay because, see, what they do run, or like the deck used to run the protection spell, the what's its face? So I'm gonna get the level up on Aurelion Soul. It's their landmark is so close. But no, okay, this is important. What we need to do is that I need while Aurelion Soul is still on the board, I know that I've got this. It's the question of, do we go for it immediately, or do we kind of lull them into a false sense of security? Sorry, I just do it immediately. While we plan, it's a 0-cost spell. I do it now. They run the Bastion, so they might be able to save Kench's life. Like, Bastion might be able to save Kench's life. Actually, no, do I go forward? Because they're going to go for this potentially on top of what's her face. Like, if they do Bastion, doesn't really matter to me because I need to tell myself, well, I've got this. Yeah, no, I actually saw it. I'm going to tell myself that, like, if they do Bastion and then go for eating you, I've got this as a maneuver if I really want it. So, it's not too bad either way. Share the mode to my part. I mean, it was more about getting rid of the landmark. The landmark needed to be gotten rid of. But Bastion, it wouldn't matter because if they did Bastion and then tried to eat her, we let them eat Shyvana, and then we use the big strike spell and kill everyone. GG's! I'm liking that, like, people are experimenting with Lux, because obviously her going down in cost. Targon could be an interesting place to experiment with her, because obviously you get a bunch of different spells, especially like, you know, the invoke stuff and that. There's heals to be able to sustain yourself. Like burst speed 5 mana is good to be able to help. Oh, where's my sharp sights when you want them? Where are my sharp sights? Okay. We'll be okay. Gonna tell myself that I've got Shyvana, I've got single combat, Screeching Dragon. I'm actually willing to block some damage. Okay. Getting close. Dragon's Clutch. Don't want to use this to draw. I'm looking at my hand thinking I've got a bunch of dragons. If I can somehow manage to play all of these dragons, then giving them Overwhelm would be nice. I've got, like, you know, a turn 4, turn 5. It's whether or not they can level Zoe. That's going to be the scary bit. And whether or not they find the obliterates to be able to obliterate my ones. Okay, potential draw. Radiant Guardian. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere, he says. I assume that they think I've got sharp sight. That's the one. Oh, there we go. I'm so glad I've got that now. It's the one reason that you never attack forward with Zoe when you're against Demacia, when you know there's a slight chance they can have it. I do like the buffs they did to the priestesses as well. Potential Equinox on top of Screeching Dragon, just to get rid of its challenge. Stun as well. They could just go for the Crescent Strike stun. But you've already done that. Yes, but now I give her double. I guess it's more for the health. You know, like, you look at it, and you just think, I could use this now. What punishes that? How close is she? She's on 4. I could also go for the Dragon's Clutch, but then Power Cascade is a thing.
Look lively, soldier.
I'm kind of interested to see what my opponent does to this. Hey, Hey, Gomez! How's the patch treat you? Hey, Shoya, how you doing? All good, thank you. Enjoying myself as I'm playing this stupid dragon deck. Okay. I can tell myself, like, I don't know what outs they might have gone for. They probably didn't have an out at all. I probably should have literally just killed Zoe there. There was like no massive reason not to kill her. But I tell myself, okay, right. It's very unlikely they can have an out for sharp sight. There's Lux. Okay. How close is she there? So she's up to 6. I probably should have just killed her, let's be honest. Okay.
Illuminate the enemy.
Willing to accept. Before things get any more dicier, I'm considering just... Right, she's on 6. I'll leave actually. I'll grab her with one of these dragons. It'll be fine. Because every little thing is gonna be alright. Now, overwhelm. +1/+1 overwhelm. Let's go. Got myself this strike move. I've got a few strike moves. I've got sharp sight. So, I mean, sharp sight is a thing, but we can go for the strike move. And I can even remove Lux if I wanted to. There's a slight chance they've got unyielding spirit, but Shadow Mode to my opponent, really well played. Vi, Bandle City, and Predict. So I can assume that Shellfolk. I'm gonna assume this is like the like basically the Ezreal Vi list. Only they got rid of Ezreal and put Ekko in for the Predicts, and then like, you know, using Shell. Like that's where my guess is that how this deck is going to be structured. I could be terribly wrong with all that fact, but I'm going to keep... Gomez, you shouldn't keep Judgment right now. You shouldn't keep Judgment. Don't do it. As much as your heart wants to, now I'm going to regret this. I'm going to go back and I'm going to regret not keeping the Judgment. Okay. In ranked, it helped me to get rid of lots of Luxes and Scions. No, yeah, definitely. Like, especially Scion as well. The Scion deck got hit a little bit, but not really, in my opinion. Ooh. Okay. Now, do I want to throw you down just so I can grab... His health's been taken... His attack's been taken out a little bit, but he can still do this trade and still be relatively okay. So I don't mind it. Astounding curiosity. Lie beneath the waves! Still use him as defense next turn against this. Yes, it could be stupid banter for attacking twice using Vi and Chrono. I know it definitely would be funny using the Chrono Shift for the rally, especially even if she dies. That's the thing, like, even if Vi dies, like leveled up Vi does do that 5 damage to the Nexus. Even if she dies, using a Chrono, like I can see where this comes in, and it's funny. I'll give him that. It's a funny deck. I already love it. Okay. Throw down. Why couldn't you have been my turn 3? In terms of like having you on the board when she's on the board, like you just know that every single strike and kill, you just feel that little bit better knowing that there's the additional buff. There's going to be a Thermo Beam, isn't there? Thermo Beam, I can technically still get round. Yeah, I can technically still get round Thermo Beam. It just means that she's not in the best of places. I mean, I'm considering, do I just let her die knowing that I could grab potentially a more healthy one from the deck? But another part of me is also thinking, but if I do keep her alive, like there's certain buffs and there's certain things which it might be more beneficial to have her alive, but I don't know, sharp sight to be able to kill a Vi at some point. I'm willing to accept losing her. I'd rather get a fresh one. I can get a fresh Shyvana. Because it's one of those things where she'd live, but not well.
New tech, new tricks, new day, new zone.
Not a lot that I can really do. Obviously, like, they could use a thermo beam or even group shot, actually. Group shot to be able to make this trade happen. Yeah, tell myself that single combat is a thing. Would have loved to have got you on the board again. I'm starting to look at my dragon's clutch and thinking, soon. Gonna throw you out though. I'm gonna throw you out. Yeah, it's always the thermo beam. Now, I can. So you're at 7. Just trying to think to myself, single combat and actually no, it'd need to be concerted, wouldn't it? I think I'm gonna get +2 coming off of this. How much do you die by? Quite a bit, obviously, if I do that. But at least that means that Ekko is down. Yeah, I'm okay with that happening. It means there's another thermo beam down as well. So, the more thermo beams that I can get down, I don't actually mind. They've not predicted too much, and that's an Ekko down as well. That's not too bad. I will accept it. Okay. I guess I could attack forward the Dragon Guard, but if I can keep him alive and keep him out of Mystic Shot range, I'll be more happy. Definitely can consider playing the Eclipse Dragon. Like, I could consider playing you just so I get more mana. There's Vi. So, Vi stands for Vicious. I could throw you down and still throw down a concerted strike. So, it just means that because they've used up all their mana. Feels good. I don't really care about this little man's life. That's the banter of it. I really don't care about this little man's life, but if I can get him through a struggle, I will get him through a struggle. That's 1 Ekko down, 1 Vi down. So, 2 of the champions already gone. I can actually go for this. Yet again, they've only got 1 more thermo beam in that deck. I say 1 more thermo beam. Technically, I guess he could have manifested 1, because I guess thermo beam counts as a 0 cost spell. So I believe he can make thermo beam. It's been a long time since I've used him to make a thermo beam, so I can't remember, but I believe that he can make thermo beam because, like, I guess it is technically a 0 cost spell. My opponent appears to be trying to wait for something to happen. Sod it. Might end up regretting. Yeah, minimal. That's fine. That is actually fine. If out of, like, yet again, forcing a mini-morph is not bad to me, because it just means that that's less removal for my Aurelion Souls than my Shyvanas later on down the line, because obviously A Soul has got a spell shield, so I need to ping that, but there's so many different pings within these regions. I want to wait for the Aloof Traveler. Okay, so they can no longer Aloof Traveler. Because if I find Aurelion Soul... Draw two dragons. If I find Aurelion Soul... There he is. Okay. If only I had like the ability to play him. Bob is considering the Dragon Child to go into Aurelion Soul. Like, I guess Screeching Dragon could even throw down this. Throw down another one of these guys. Throw down Dragon Chow. Throw down Aurelion Soul. It's a stupid plan that I probably should not do. But there's something in my mind telling me, let's do this. I've got double ruined guard. Screeching Dragon is not actually a bad thing to be able to get that buff as well, actually. Screeching Dragon, but I just why go with? I mean, so they've got Minimorph coming up in a card at some point in the very near future. Minimorph's coming. Potentially, but it requires, like, the only reason why I'm not going to consider this is because it means I have to have another Celestial card, which I don't really have too many other choices right now. So I'd rather poke and then Minimorph. Yeah, poke and then Minimorph. Do I want to use a Concerted Strike on top of this first? Or do I want to wait until they throw down Vi? Like, I feel like they're going to Minimorph Aurelion Soul. Like, Aurelion Soul definitely gets Minimorph. I need to grab you. Yeah, Aurelion Soul definitely gets Minimorphed here. Go forward with everything, because they're most likely going to Minimorph. And so... Ooh, I mean, because we know that Minimorph is in the top 5 cards, but we just don't know. We don't know at what point in the top 5 cards. Okay, there it is. There it is. I'm okay with that. Okay. So my Screeching Dragon's starting to get nice and big. I can't give myself a second big Screeching Dragon. I'm starting to get scared.
Here comes the punchline.
Like, I've still technically got this if I need it. Let's go. Let's go. Second Vi down. The simple the simple one-off copy. The one-off copy. I mean, they're definitely like Minimorph is it. We know that Minimorph's in the top 5 cards. We just don't know whereabouts in the top 5 cards, but we know it's there. It's on it. I might as well grab this. The significant buffs are coming. Sharp Sight, Concerted Strike, and even throwing down one of these little men. I assume they use this prank just because they want to try to disrupt hand. But that's fine. Even making this cost 7, I accept, because I'm just going to immediately go forward. Okay. Immediately go forward. Minimorph most likely hits, but I've got double Sharp Sight. So, oh, curse you and your defenses of stress. Okay. They need more. I've got double Sharp Sight. I'm still technically A-okay. Question mark. Okay, Mystic Shot. Second Mystic Shot. Yep. Shadow Mode to my opponent, potentially. Shadow Mode to my opponent! I had the other Mystic, I had the other Sharp Sight if I needed it. Didn't need it, but Shadow Mode to my opponent. Really well played, nicely done. I'll keep the early game. Keep the early game, do that. I mean, I'm against Counter Dragons. They've got they've got Garen, who is devastating with his rallies. Like, rallying with dragons is powerful. The biggest weakness I've found is Shyvana, the counter. Yeah, that's because of Concerted Strike and Sunburst. Like, if you can counter their strikes, I just say, like, you know, you're in a good way. Considering myself, I want to throw you down. He's got good stats. My main concern, yep. If only I had Sharp Sight, I would totally go forward here. I'll leave it back. I kind of want to let the Eggman die. Eggman is like a perfect dragon dream. It's the reason why I don't run Herald. The reason I don't run Herald of Dragons is because I feel like Herald of Dragons is a perfect like dragon bait deck for like a counter dragon deck. Okay.
We wear red to honor the fallen. Would you know them to see them again, Jankie?
I kind of need to kill. I do kind of need to kill this guy. Getting their dragon down to 2 health might be able, but this is the guy who I need to kill. I'm actually willing to take 4 damage. I can technically heal myself for 4 damage. Of course. I've not got any of my combat moves, and my opponent's got like all the combat moves. Second Eggman, definitely not who I need right now. I might be able to find Shyvana, but then I've got like nothing which protects her. It's my main concern. So I could use this. Find Shyvana. Could even consider dropping down this. But I've got no way of defending her. Like in terms of my opponent then uses Concerted Strike. I could drop this dragon down. My opponent then uses Concerted Strike. Sharp Sight is also a thing. It's one of these things, but I'm trying to be very careful in the knowledge of what my opponent could have counter-wise. Because like this hand might not have any more, like it might not have Concerted Strike, it might not have single combat, it might not have Sharp Sight, like, but I need to consider the high possibility that they could. And now they're getting ahead of me on the game. Like,
What is this?
they're getting ahead of me and getting to the point where they could start using. They can start using like the overwhelm moves and such. So it's the Concerted Strike and the single combats. I'm scared.
Virtue guides me.
I can't. I've got no strike spells to speak of right now. Like my counterplay strike, like the strike spells which counter, I have none of them. Concerted Strike. Oh no, single combat. Okay. I have none of my spells of counter. The overwhelm is starting to get very scary and close on my opponent. Maybe cut a few Radiants for that. I feel like Radiant Guardian is actually important. In a deck which runs loads of strike spells, Radiant Guardian is kind of important. Which is why I leave them in the deck. It has lessened my options. Concerted Strike. Overwhelm. Ooh, okay, so they might have a second one of those for... They might have a second one for overwhelm purposes.
I am more than
I need to tell myself...
More than culpable.
It's the potential of Concerted Strike for, like, Concerted Strike on my opponent's side. Right, this is...
you return.
You know what? At this moment in time, I'm feeling somewhat okay. This might sound very stupid, but I feel somewhat okay. Because no one expects judgment! Okay, so... bear in mind that this guy's on the field, so my opponent had all the advantage. All of the advantage was on my opponent's side of the field, and we might have just flipped the switch And we now have the advantage. I'm definitely throwing Aurelion Soul down. Like, having him down even a turn early, I will accept. Should have lied to my opponent. Like, no one expects the flash of brilliance that could save me. Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Is there anything from you? Save me. That doesn't save me! Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.